So today's topic is generating free leads online, and of course, we're talking about Craigslist and Kijiji, and we're going to get right into it. And I thought it's important because if ever I get somebody to ask me, I need leads right away, people that are looking right now, the ones that are looking, aside from our warm market, aside from our hot prospects, the ones that are looking right now are definitely the ones looking online. They're the ones that are hot to go. So let's just dive into it. And if you have any questions, I'll try to keep an eye on my chat box here. Now, Kijiji in Canada has sort of overtaken Craigslist, but there's still a lot of good returns that we're getting from people posting on Craigslist and Kijiji. I know a few people on our team are already getting a lot of returns specifically on rentals. If you want to talk super fast returns, start promoting high-end rentals, and you'll see leads within an hour, literally. And we're going to talk a little bit about looking for buyers and sellers, believe it or not, on Craigslist and Kijiji, and how to do that. I'm going to share with you some sample ads. In fact, I've created a whole Word doc with 23 different types of ads that you can place. So you literally copy and paste. But the key with marketing this and really much anything else is testing. So you may test out one ad and it works for you in one area, and somebody else may test out the same ad in another geographic area and it really doesn't work. And when I mean in an area, I know we're online, but we have to target specific areas because you can't just say homes for sale all over the world. You have to say homes for sale Riverdale, homes for sale Oakville. You have to target specific neighborhoods. We're going to go through a little bit of a checklist of how to create the ad, how to post it. We're going to talk a little bit about lead capture and tracking, and then, of course, follow up. As with everything, it is the key. And just to go back a step, yes, you do need a CRM to do this. And if you don't have a CRM, stop listening to this webinar. Get your CRM figured out, because you cannot do anything without a proper CRM. And I'm talking about Top Producer. I'm talking about any of the other proper CRMs. Your Excel spreadsheet doesn't count, and Outlook doesn't count, okay? And CRM, if you don't know what it means, client relationship management software, Top Producer, that kind of a thing, okay? So let's talk about, first of all, the people that are going online. Why are they going online? They're looking for information. They're either looking for homes in a particular area, or they're just gathering knowledge, or they want info on investing. And here's the thing. If you don't get their attention, if it's not easy to read, if they're not entertained, as it were, or if you send them to a website that's not easy to navigate, they will hit the big X button. So you got to make things really super simple and easy. Now, why do we use Craigslist and Kijiji? Well, again, you can fire up your computer. You can get leads within minutes. Does everybody use Craigslist? No, that's why we talk about Craigslist and Kijiji, but there's enough people there that you will generate leads. Now, what about the quality of leads? Well, I have people complain, well, Simon, the quality of leads is really, really crap. If you want a lead that's going to jump over a fence to list their home with you or to buy with you immediately, this is not it. But you can pull out 10, 20, 30 leads, put them in a database, market to them en masse, and generate a deal or two or three a month. And if it's worth, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with this, is almost with anything in the area of what I call cold leads. You have to be able to commit to a half hour, to an hour, to maybe even 90 minutes a day, but you got to do it every single day. You cannot get apples from a farm without putting in energy every single day. People want quick results. You cannot get quick results with this. This is not something you can try for a day or 2 days or a week or even a month. This is something, if you decide to do it, you have to add it as a pillar to your business. If you add it as a pillar to your business, if you do the work every single day, and there are people that are already doing it every day, and they'll tell you they get results. Is it cumbersome? Of course it is. It's work, and that's why they call it work. However, if you do this, and if you do it the right way, and here's the thing again, I've had a lot of people that have tried it. Hey, I tried posting an ad on Craigslist. It didn't work. Well, Jimmy, you posted one ad, the ad sucked, and then you never did it again. I wonder why it didn't work. So there's a little bit of testing required, but once you figure out what gets traction, and once you do it regularly, this is where the system will work. So let's get into this. So, if you haven't been on Craigslist before, here's a snapshot of the website. You select your area. You can look at real estate for sale. If you drill down, you're also going to see real estate for sale private, and you'll also see real estate for sale by broker. We're not going to talk about targeting FSBOs or anything like that. Let's talk about generating leads by posting ads as opposed to chasing the ads. So here's one of the keys. You have to be available to answer inquiries within 15 minutes. In fact, it really should be within a couple of minutes. And I'll tell you, in the past when I placed ads myself to test, and I get an email, and you know, there are agents out there, believe it or not, that do not get email on their phone. You have to get into the modern world, boys and girls. You can't delegate email to checking it in the morning and checking it at night. You need to be online all day long. This is part of our job. So when you get a response to one of your ads, whether it's hitting your web page if you have one, or they're replying to an email, you should be able to answer inquiries literally within minutes. I would say 15 minutes go by, it's over. It's almost, you know, cuts down your response conversion by tenfold. So here's the thing. If they're looking, they may still be on your site. They may still be online. And if you're the first person to respond that quickly, you've got the best chance of getting the appointment. Your job is to get them all the info they request and more, not to try to close them on an appointment. Try to capture all their information. They called you to find out about a house, or they called you to find out about a list of bank sale properties. Whatever it is they're asking for, give it to them. And if you're posting an ad about a particular property, or if you're posting an ad about a list of power sales or what have you, have the information available and ready such that, I mean, literally have it in your inbox so that you could simply hit forward and boom, send fast. And this way it saves your time and energy, and it allows you to respond to people in real time. Send a follow-up email within 1 hour. Hey, did you get it? If you have a phone number, call them and then follow up. Now, if you're a buyer and they're looking at a particular area and you've got enough information, I would set them up on Prospect Match so they start getting daily emails from you. And I would follow up a few days later, and I'd follow up 7 days later, 10 days later. Just follow up a few times. If they're unresponsive, I would simply delete them from the Prospect Match, and I would send them a simple email. Say, hey, I've set you up on a Prospect Match. I've sent you listings, but you haven't replied to me. I'm happy to help, but I will need to talk to you just so I have a better understanding of what you're looking for. I'm ready when you are, and it's a very polite goodbye. Now, that name and email still stays in your database and your top producer, and you can send the large group a mass email, but it no longer requires any effort. Our job when we're trying to convert, you know, we're getting web leads. You may have 5 or 10 or 15 or even 20 leads a week. Your job is to find the 1 or 2 that are nice, that are ready, that are cooperative, that are responding to you, that, hey, I'd be happy to meet for a coffee, or yes, I'd love to look at that house. You're just looking for those. Now, you can't get mad at the other 17 or 16 because that's just where they are. They're not ready yet, and they don't want to meet you yet. They didn't request a meeting. But you can stay in touch, and you can send them all the information. You can put them on your newsletter list. You can send them stuff in the mail once a month, and you will convert some of those as well. But your job is to sort through and find those ripe red apples that are ready to meet. And again, walk them through the process at whatever pace they're at. Try to get an appointment, okay? What about timing and frequency? Well, ideally, you should post your ads 3 times a day. So if you're going to post, let's say you're going to choose 3 or 4 or 5 ads that you're going to post, you're going to create them, and it's literally copy and paste. It really shouldn't take you more than a few minutes. And if you can only do this once a day, I would do it in the morning. But if you can schedule it in your calendar, post it. If you have nothing on the go right now, do this 3 times a day until you don't have time to. This way they're at the top of the list, because you know when you post an ad, as soon as somebody else posts another ad, then you're actually bumped down. So I would post it daily. I would repost them every couple of days, or delete one and copy and paste it and change the title a little bit. If you repost the same thing over and over and over, someone might flag you, or the system might flag you. Don't worry about it. Just delete that post, change the photo, change the title, change the description, resubmit, and keep punching. It's really, really that simple. What section do you post ads? Well, we always post them in the real estate for sale by owner, unless you're posting for rentals, which you can also generate some good high-end rental leads as well. We've got people on our team doing $3,000, $4,000 rentals, and if you want quick cash, that's the quickest one, because you have people looking for an apartment now. They want to close in a week. They want to close in 2 weeks, and you can make your half month's rent. But otherwise, you're always posting it in the real estate for sale by owner. I know some agents, I call them morons, post it in the for sale by owner section, maybe by mistake, but I think most of them are trying to sneak up on people. No, you post it in the real estate for sale by broker. You always have your disclaimer at the bottom, and you do it right. And you cannot advertise somebody else's listing, just for the record, with address and everything else. But instead, what you can do is you can post a property type that's readily available. For example, East York bungalows all look exactly the same, and they're always available. 2 or 3 bedrooms, and you know the price range. Harborfront 2-bedroom condos with a balcony and parking are always available, and we know the price range. You know, that kind of thing. So we can post property types as long as we're not posting somebody else's exact specific listing. Okay? Headlines. Well, I don't know what's better, long or short, but it's another thing that you test. So you test out different headlines. You can test out exclamation marks. You can test out, you know, happy faces. You can test out all kinds of stuff, but mix it up a little bit. And I'll give you some examples. But look at, I mean, obviously we're not going to be the only ones advertising on these sites, but test it out depending on the area and see what the response rate is. Generally, you should include the price in the ad because, you know, some argue that, well, if you include the price, well, you eliminate people that are looking above or below that price. Well, you gotta, you know, there's riches in the niches, as they say. So you can test out ads with different price points. So, for example, if you're in the Durham area, you want to figure out what's the lowest entry-level price for first-time buyers, if that's who you're targeting, and promote that. But test it with price, test it without price. I usually would recommend putting the price in, even if it's a price range, and it should be either a specific property, like almost like it looks like one particular property, or it's a list or a free report with a ton of info. And we've sent you guys a whole breakdown of a bunch of different free reports. I'll be resending out free report folder with all of the free reports pre-written, so you could just copy and paste them, edit with your contact information, and use those. But again, just a reminder, you got to be RICO compliant in all the ads. So you got to have your name, you got to say sales rep or broker, you got to say the name of your brokerage, and you know there's nothing wrong with putting down your mobile number. I wouldn't put the office number because it might get lost in the mix. If you're going to put a phone number, I would put your mobile number, and sometimes I would put phone number and no email. I would test it out. But typically, if people are online, they don't want to call you just yet. They will be comfortable sending you an email. But if they're emailing you, then you've got their real email address. I put your real email right there. I might even create a new Gmail address just for this. So it might be your name, realtor@gmail.com, and just have that forward to your phone. People have a little issue with that. So, well, I just have one email, I'll just use that. No, you can create one just for your online ads, so you can start tracking how many emails came through and you know which one that is. Pictures. Always use nice pictures. People will click on the ads if they see IMG in Craigslist and Kijiji. You'll see the photo right there, and you know, use some attractive photos. If you're advertising a particular property type, use a typical photo. I remember I saw one ad. The guy was advertising Durham region, and the house had a palm tree beside it. So obviously, you know, wrong country, wrong time zone. But use something that's sort of typical for that area. Your advertising condos have a interior shot because a photo of a building's pretty boring. You might have a really nice interior design kind of a shot, that kind of thing. And what ads work best? Well, there's no answer for that. You got to test it out, but you can test out specific property types or a free list of homes in an area, free reports. Also, you can also put in the for sale section. You'll get some sellers that are looking to see what's going on online to try to figure out their home value. You can also test out free home evaluation ads in there or free report for home sellers, because think about this. A lot of the people looking to buy are existing homeowners, and in the back of their mind they know they also have to sell their own home. So that's a way to target homeowners that are move-up buyers. So you can test out free report for sellers, free report for buyers. You will sometimes get flagged if you're in the wrong section if some bored real estate agent decides to flag you. But doesn't matter. Just repost it, delete it, repost it, test, test, test. You'll hear that as a common theme here. So here's an example of one ad, and this is free list of bank sale and foreclosures. Now, as we all know, foreclosures aren't really that common in Canada, but that's a term that people know and people search for. So you can test out this ad verbatim. Free list of bank sale and foreclosure properties. We publish a free list of the best foreclosure, bank sale, and distress sale properties in every area of the GTA. If you don't know how to find those bank sales online, call Treb Help Desk, and they'll show you how to set up a flex search, and it'll come into your inbox every day if you want, or you'll know how to search it. See, I put price here. Prices from $150,000 to $1.5 million. The list comes complete with photos, address, taxes, yada, 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 which is all the info in the MLS listings. And we have an expert negotiation team that can help you negotiate a purchase price below the asking price, guaranteed. So I know I'm stating the obvious, but buyers don't know that. And, we talk about a big price range here. You may test out a smaller price range if you're targeting different areas. You may test out a higher end if you want to generate only higher end leads, but you'll get fewer of them. And you've really got two options. You can either send people to a web page link. If you have a website where you can set up a page that can do lead capture, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. If you do, do it. But if you don't, just put in, get your free list by emailing me at yournamerealestate@gmail.com. Okay? Very, very simple. And, of course, we've always got to be compliant. So here's one example providing a list of ads, a list of homes. Here's another example where we're talking about a specific home. And Mark, if you're on the line, you'll recognize this as one of your old homes. I just like the photo, so I included this for you guys. But, listen to how I write the ad. Don't do the typical real estate jargon, like 4BR, 3 BTH, FIN, BSMT, all that crap. Speak English and try to be colorful. So here's what I've given as an example. Executive home on quiet street with huge private backyard, $499. Look no further. This is an impeccably maintained home on a quiet cul-de-sac, child-safe neighborhood, thousands spent on landscaping, parking for 5 cars on a circular drive, and attached garage. Lower level features media room, private office, and nanny's quarters. Call now for a private viewing. Email me or call me, however you want to test it out. And what you'll find is as you test out different property ads, whether it's a condo or a house, as long as that general type of property is available in the area, you can use that ad forever and ever and ever. And of course, you can promote your existing listings as well. That really makes your clients happy. So if you've actually got a listing, every single property you list, you should throw on Craigslist. You should take a screenshot of this, and you should show your client, hey, I posted it on Craigslist. I posted it on Kijiji. It's on Realtor.ca. It's on MLS. It's gone out by flyers. This is also another way to promote your listings and get the sellers happy on this. But you want to test out, and here's the thing I'd recommend. If you live in North Toronto, North GTA, don't push ads in the West End and East End. Make your life easy. Promote properties near you, like within a 10-kilometer radius or within a 5-kilometer radius. Be a master at your area, because what will start to happen is you'll start to get really good product awareness of all the listings in the area. You talk to somebody, you get a sense of what they want, say, you know what, there's this property over on such and such street that I think is really perfect for you. Now, there may be others, and I can give you a complete list, but why don't we start by looking at that one, because it has this, and it has this, and it has this, and you're gonna come off as an expert because you're gonna be. So that's another bit of advice: is try to specialize. Don't try to do all things to all people. Specialize on an area. And if in your area, for example, the starter homes are townhomes, and then you have semis, and then you have older bungalows, and you have some newer 2-stories, test out all of the different property types in your area, and just start to see which ones get the best response rates. Okay. Next, do not put your photo. I know you want to put your photo there because you got your beautiful new shot. You had your hair done, and it's still left over from 7 years ago. It's not about you. It's about what your prospects want. Don't use long URLs. That's the web domains. Try to use specific URLs for what you're promoting. Create one for your area, and don't post the boring typical ads. Use more colorful language. And don't use real estate jargon, okay? We've already seen people test it. It just cuts down on your response rates. So a couple things. When you create an account on Craigslist or Kijiji, they can actually mask your email address, okay? I would actually, like I said, I would prefer that you don't mask your email address, but I would put your email address and make it visible. Create a custom Gmail or Hotmail, doesn't matter. Create a custom Gmail address that's just for this, and use it in the description. So whether they can just click on it or they can type it in. And if you have a custom website or pre-recorded hotlines for voicemail messages, use them. But if not, just use your custom email address that you know is just for those leads. So at any given time, you've created a new Gmail address. You can look at your Gmail for the last 30 days, and you can see how many inbound leads that I get. And you can use that as a sort of a tracking system. But make sure it all bounces to your phone and bounces to your Outlook, so that you're able to get those in real time. You don't have to. You don't want to have to go into your Gmail to see those leads. They should come to you in real time. And last but not least, follow up, follow up, follow up. Respond immediately. Put all of these leads into your CRM. I know it's cumbersome, but put them in there. I'm telling you, if you generate 3 or 4 emails a day over the course of a year, you're going to have thousands in your database that you can market to, and you can categorize them. Hey, you know what? These are just Craigslist and Kijiji leads, so they're lower quality. Okay, no problem. They're lower quality. They're only 1% response rate, which means if I have 1,000 in there, I'm going to get 10 deals, which equals 100 grand out of it. So if you want to get that extra 100 grand, your job in the next year is to get 1,000 crappy leads, convert 1% by following up and marketing to them. Send them valuable info every week. You see the emails that we get, that we send out to you guys, the blog posts we're doing on Home AdNet, the stuff from the radio show. Push it all out to everybody. And if you've got a lead in the system and you've got a phone number, call every 30 days until they buy or die. Our job is follow-up, and that's it for today, boys and girls. Your job is to become a master at this stuff if you choose to do it. If you don't like this, don't do it. Move on. Pick another pillar. But I got to ask you, if you're not doing this, what are you doing for new business today? And that's it for today. We're going to be recording. We've already recorded it. We'll be sending out a recording, rather, as well as a copy of the sample ads. Get out there. Do it. Don't worry about making mistakes. Do it, and something will happen. And if you have questions, fire them in. We'll share them with the group. Have a great day, and go sell something.